The Saurus warriors set about patrolling the site of the crashed starship. None had survived the crash by them, and spawning pools and ancient relics lay ruined all about them. But they would not leave this most sacred of sites for the Seraphon artifacts to be plundered by common thieves. They would hold it until someone or something came to set about a permanent form of protection, or they would hold it indefinitely. The assassins of Morai Heg had seen the starship crash, sensing an opportunity to plunder it for secrets, knowledge, and power from ages long since forgotten. They slowly moved in from the shadows. Seeing the ancient Saurus warriors guarding the crash, they took stock of the situation, and as the ancient warriors turned their attention elsewhere, they launched their attack, and battle was joined in Warhammer Underworlds, Emberguard. In today's game, we're going to be playing a Warhammer Underworlds Rivals format game. Now, in the Rivals format, players pick a pre-built 32-card deck known as a Rivals deck. A player's Rival deck is made from cards that only feature that deck's unique symbol denoted in the top right-hand corner of each card, which means if you have at least one Rivals deck and one warband from the list below if you're going to a competitive scene, or you can use pretty much anything you want in a less organised setting, you have everything you need to join in with this format. In today's game, I'm going to be playing with the Knives of the Crone. Now for the Knives of the Crone, our Inspire condition is if Foretold Wisdom is foretold after one of their successful attacks. As a result of the Visions in Blood ability, we inspire the fighter. This is going to sort of play into how everything works. Visions of Blood we're allowed to use immediately after a friendly fighter's successful attack. We make a prophecy roll, and we can get different effects from getting some Grievous abilities on our attack, looking at the top objective cards of some of our decks and swapping them, or being able to re-roll some dice as well. Now the Rituals of Prophecy is another ability we've got where at the start of the turn we also can do this as well during the game, so not only will we get it when we make successful attacks, but we'll get one for free essentially each round as well. The Knives of the Crone fighter are your pretty typical elf-style fighters. They are each worth 2 glory, bar Asfel, who's only worth a single, and they've got 3 wounds on Asfel, while 4 health on each of the other fighters. 4 move on all your fighters is really nice, with 1 dodge being the standard defense, although Kerner Vix has 2 dodge standard. You've got some pretty decent attack stats with some good range options there as well. Now when the fighters do inspire, they are going to get access to some extra dodge in there, and they're also going to get their damage increased a lot across the board as well. For our deck today, we're playing with Realmstone Raiders. Now this has a plot for it, where while using this rival deck, immediately after the first successful friendly melee attack action in the attack step, you can raid a number of times equal to the bounty characteristic of the target. What the raid does is reveal the top card of your power deck if that card is now raided. If that card is an Emberstone card, you can put that card back on top of your deck or on the bottom of your power deck. Emberstone cards have the following additional rules, where Emberstone ploys and Emberstone upgrades can be used immediately for no cost, though you do require the amount of glory to upgrade your fighters still. And here we have the card listing for the deck as well. A lot of these cards will be Emberstone ploys and Emberstone upgrades to make the deck work how it should. Stephen is playing with the Jaws of Itzl in today's game. The Jaws of Itzl have the Inspire condition where after inflicting damage on an enemy fighter in an opponent's power step or action step, you can pick a friendly fighter and then inspire that fighter. Now, this is easily done with predatory fighters where if they make a successful defense roll that includes a shield, they can inflict 1 damage back on the enemy fighter. So a great easy way to sort of get their defensive benefits up and their Inspire condition. They've got some cool rules where they can move around their minion after some of their fighters activate. Savage Mauling is a great way to sort of take a enemy down when you've taken some heavy damage yourself, and Obstinate as well means a friendly Saurus that cannot be driven back until the end of the battle round. A lot of these aren't once per use per game though. Fighter-wise, for the Warband, Crojax is a really solid lead with 5 health, a defense 1, 3 move, and a 3 damage attack as standard. You do have 5 health on your other 2 Saurus as well, with that 1 defense there as well, though their attacks are only 2 damage, but Rotak does have some range in there as well. And Sotek's Venomite is a nice little fast-moving piece you've got around to give yourself an extra fighter to complete some objectives with. When they do inspire, you get more dice on your attack rolls, and you also get some boosted defense on Crojax as well, which is really nice. And it's really nice to see just, increasing of that damage potential at least on the cards. Deck-wise, he is using the Emberstone Sentinels Rivals deck. This is a pretty simple take and hold deck with a bunch of objectives based around holding objectives, like the whole treasure token objectives, and you've also got ploys and upgrades that will base around keeping your fighters in the fight for longer. And so we are all deployed on the table. So to start with, for the Knives of the Crone, we've got Kerna Vix back here with Asfel and Cesari off to her flank. And on the other side, we have Krita. Meanwhile, for the Jaws of Itzl, you've got Krojax up front there on the flank. You've then got Rotak at the back, Sokar in the middle, and Sotek's Venomites on the other flank. Today's video is sponsored by Gap Games, a fantastic miniature wargaming store in Queensland, Australia. They stock a wide variety of miniature wargames from all things Games Workshop to some of my personal favourites, Conquest, The Last Argument of Kings, and all things Modifius wargames as well. Use our affiliate code in the link below to help support both this fantastic store and the channel as well. And so we'll have a roll-off to see who gets priority for round one. I got crossed swords, meanwhile Sotek got a hammer. That means they'll have the choice of priority. And so the Sotek, or Jaws of Itzl rather, they are going to go second. It's going to be the first activation for the Knives of the Crone. So beginning of the round, I will have to roll for the prophecy table. So got to roll 4 attack dice. Let's see what we get. That is going to be 4 different symbols, but one is a crit. Alright, and so what I can do here with the symbols is a crit can be used to change into any one I want. I'm going to change it into crossed swords. That means for this round, I'll get 4 told slaughter. The next time I pick a melee weapon as part of an attack action this battle round, I gain the critical grievous on the attack. And so my first action for the round there with Krita is to make a charge super action into Sokar. So we're going to make our attack. And so 4 dice needed with crossed swords. That is just a single success. So your defense.
I need 1 shield.
Need a shield. That is a support. That is not going to succeed. So I am successful. No extra damage. That'll just be a wound on Sokar. And so because that was a friendly fighter's successful attack action, I can now make another prophecy roll due to Visions in Blood. That is this special rule here. I use immediately after a friendly fighter's successful attack and make a prophecy roll again. So this time we get a double support. And now, thanks to my Realmstone Raiders deck, I can look at the top 2 cards of my deck. And that is for this Realmstone Raiders. So raid number of times equal to the bounty of the target. Sokar is a bounty of 2. Reveal the top card of your power deck that's rated. If this card's an Emberstone card, you can put that card back on the top or bottom of your deck. Emberstone cards, though, are immediately played, so we'll reveal the first one, which is Manipulated Fate. That is not, so that's going to go on the bottom of my deck. And the second one is Raider's Rapture. That is not, and so they're both going to go on the bottom of my deck. So after all that, I'm then going to play Hidden Knowledge. This allows me to pick an enemy fighter adjacent to a friendly fighter, and I can give them a move token. And so with that, there's no cards to be played for the Jaws of Itzl, so it'll be their first activation for the round. And so Stephen's first activation is a move of 3 hexes there with Rotak. You're then going to play the extra mile. So you play this immediately after a friendly fighter's move, and you can push them 1 hex. They have to end on a feature token, and so we'll end on that objective dead center of the table. Alright, so second action then, going over to the Knives of the Crone. We're going to make another charge super action. Kernavix is going to charge into Rotak there. So 2 dice, needing hammers with Kernavix. That'll be a single success. Your defense is going to be a block, so I'll be an unsuccessful attack.
Which means I get to...
And so, because I failed that attack and you succeeded with a shield in your defense, you get to use Predatory Fighters where you can inflict a point of damage back on Kernavix, which, due to doing that point of damage off turn, will inspire Rotak. And so next you're going to have a charge super action then with Krojax.
Mm-hmm.
And so you are going to need hammers, I think.
Yep.
So with Krojax, hammers that are required, gets nothing. And so after you've done that with Krojax, you can use Instinctual Control. That'll allow you to make a free move with the Sotek's Venomites. So you're going to gang up on Kernavix there. They will gain a move token for doing so. And so my third action is going to be an attack action with Asfael. He's going to be launching his crossbow there into Krojax. Needing cross swords, but I'll also be supported for this attack. Nothing. After that though, I'm then going to play this card, Fortune Faded. I can pick a friendly fighter adjacent to an enemy fighter that's not vulnerable, so not on their last wound. I inflict a point of damage on both fighters. I'm actually going to do that on Asfael and Krojax there. So he takes a wound, I take a wound. And so your third action for the round then with the Saurus. And so Rotak is then going to make an attack into Kerner Vix. So you get 4 dice. Supports will count here. And
cross swords.
Needing cross swords. That'll be 3 successes in total.
Yep.
So I do get a crit. And so that'll leave Kerner Vix with just 1 wound remaining. And so my last action is going to be a charged super action, and we're going to go make a charge with Tazari. And so 2 dice, I will get supports in this. You won't get supports because you're not being supported by the Venomites. That will be nothing because I need hammers. You'll get to make a defense roll, so it's a shield. You can deal a point of damage back to me as well. And so you're then going to go with Sokar making an attack into Krita next. So let's see what you can get. That'll be 1 success. Krita needs dodge. That's a crit, so that's a success. And that will just leave that like that. And so we go end of round, and the Jaws of Itzl are scoring a full hand of objectives. First of all, hold objective treasure token 5. That is done there with Krojax. You then also score slow advance, which scores in the interface if your warband holds any treasure tokens in both neutral and enemy. You've got neutral and enemy. And then you've also got supremacy, scores the interface if 2 or more friendly fighters with total bounty of 3 or more, which they do, hold treasure tokens. And so with that being the end of the round, we'll go into priority for round 2. Before we go into the turn though, Rotak is going to have the Inviolate upgrade played on them, means they can't be flanked or surrounded. You're then also going to play Great Fortitude on Krojax. And Krojax will also get Great Strength, so he gets Grievous on his weapons as well. Alright, so we now go priority for the second round. I got a crit, so regardless what you roll, I will get the choice, because I'm the underdog. So I will be going first for the round, but before that I will have a prophecy roll to make. So let's see what we can get. That is double support. So that'll give me 4 total protection, allowing me to get a reroll to a defense roll in my next time I need to make one. And so my first action for the round is going to be a charge with Kerner Vix. So she's going to make a charge. And so we're going to make an attack now into Sokar. 2 dice, needing hammers, so supports will help. I get a single success there. So Sokar's defense, we're crit, so we'll succeed.
Yep.
After that, I'm then going to play Intoxicated with Rage. I can pick a friendly fighter that has no move or charge tokens and give them a guard token. Krojax then will make a charge action going into Tazari. And so let's see what he can get. And so let's see what he can do.
Need hammers.
That'll be 2 successes. And I can choose to reroll 1 dice. Might just, I mean, it doesn't really matter. I do get the crit, I get to follow up, which is important, I guess. And so your Venomites do move after the attack there. You're then going to use Sidestep, allowing you to pick a friendly fighter, which is going to be Krojax, and make a push into my character there. I'm then going to go with Misstep, which is a ploy. I can pick an enemy fighter and give them a stagger token. And so after that, giving Krojax the stagger there, I'm going to go with a charge super action again. And so Asfael will be getting supports due to Kerner Vix. You will not be getting any because you're not in base contact with me, the attacker. So we need cross swords. That is 2 successes because the support will be there as well. Krojax on his defense gets 1, but it's not enough to stop my hit. After that, I'm then going to play Ambush. This can be played immediately after a ranged weapon as part of attack. I can raid even though it's a ranged weapon, not a melee attack. So, because you're bounty 3, the first one here, is an Emberstone ploy. I can pick a friendly fighter in neutral enemy territory and push them 1 hex. They have to end closer to an enemy fighter. Step ahead will allow me to push Krita over there. My second one will be Great Speed. That is not an Emberstone one, so that'll go bottom of the deck. And then we'll go again, and it is another Emberstone. This time an Emberstone upgrade, Brightstone Vigor. Immediately after a successful attack made by the fighter, if the damage characteristic of the weapon is greater than the save of the target, you can heal the attacker. I am going to choose to play this. However, I can't play that upgrade because I don't have the required glory to do so. I will get to roll for the Visions of Blood. So that will give me 2 double swords. And so go back over to you.
Yep.
And so Sokar will make an attack into Kerner Vix. And so I have 2 dodge on her, so
I need cross swords.
Cross swords, lovely.
I've got
1. I've got 2 dodges here. Supports will count. They both succeed. And so my next action will be an attack action with Krita into Sokar. And so this will be 4 dice into Sokar. I will be, and so let's see what you can get. It'll stop, but it won't stop me getting. And so I do drive you back now. With that means that is a successful attack. So we'll now go for some Realmstone raiding. First one with my cards I'm going to try is nothing, and then I get 1 more, which is nothing. I will then get Visions of Blood as well. So that'll be 2 crits. That'll be going into 2 hammers, meaning I inspire. So I can now look at the top card of my objective deck from Foretold Visions. And we'll put that on the bottom. But Krita will inspire from that now. So Sokar will now charge back in. Who's he choosing to attack? Kerner Vix again.
Yep.
And so Sokar attacking Kerner Vix. Supports count for you as well. That is
cross sword,
so 1 success. Meanwhile, for me, I'll get a support and 1 success as well. And luckily, I got the successes there, and I'm not getting pushed back. And so my last action for the round is going to be another attack, this time with Krita again, going into Sokar. And so Krita needing cross swords or supports. That will be just 1 success.
Need a shield.
Need a shield. No, support will not succeed. So that's another point of damage. And so after that, I'll get to raid my Realmstone deck. Yay, Angered Focus. I can pick a friendly fighter holding a treasure token in friendly territory. None of them are, so I can't use this. And then I've got a second one, which is an Emberstone upgrade, and I do not have the glory to play it. And so that'll be it for me because I didn't get to raid it. However, I will get a Vision of Prophecy. 2 hammers. And so I'll look at the top card of my deck. Yeah, that's not too bad. We'll go with that. So
my turn?
Yeah, we'll go to the last action of round 2 for the Jaws of Itzl.
Yeah.
You're making a charge with the Venomites.
Yep, my Venomites are...
So you need cross swords. Supports will work for Kerner Vix.
Cross sword.
1 cross sword. I've got 2 supports count for me as well. 2 crits. And so, end of the round, Steve must score hold treasure token 3 or 4 for another point. Alrighty. So, we go into round 3. Thank you all for watching today's video. If you'd like to help the channel grow some more, why not consider joining up to our YouTube members? This important feature here allows us to continue to produce more and more content of the various games you like to see on the channel. It also allows you to put in requests and ask what you would like to see more of on the channel in the future. Alrighty, so we're going to go a roller for the third round. I got a hammer, so you need to beat that. That does not. I'm going to get the first activation, and you'll be surprised to know I'm going to take it. Alrighty, so my first action for the round is going to be a charge with Krita. Going to make a charge to there into Sokar. Before I resolve the attack, though, I should have done a prophecy roll. That is... Now I've got to roll my attack, though, against Sokar. Got a crit, so that's 1 success. What can you get? It's a crit, so that stops me. That will be it.
Okay.
And so after that, I've got no power cards to play, but Stephen is going to go for Savage Mauling. He now gets to pick an enemy fighter adjacent to a damage-friendly Saurus that adds no charge. He's picking Sokar. Roll an attack dice for each damage token on a friendly fighter. There is 4 points of damage on him. For each sword or crit, inflict a point of damage. So if you get all of these, you kill me. That is absolutely nothing. And that is your one use of that gone for the game. Next up, you're going to make a charge super action with Rotak, moving on to objective token 5, but obviously attacking Asfael in the back there.
Yep.
And so 4 attacks into Asfael, needing hammers or cross swords? Cross swords. Nothing. You're then also going to score, though, aggressive defend. You score immediately after friendly fighter's attack if the attacker is holding a treasure token. Alrighty, my next is going to be making a charge super action with Kerna Vix. So she's going to go the long way around there, dodging the lethal hex to attack Krojax from behind. We need hammers on her attack. Got 1. So can you get defense there? No. I will get to go and use the Emberstone Ploy ability. So, first one is Raider's Premonition. Pick an objective card from your hand and put it on the bottom of your objective deck, then draw an objective card. The second card I draw, Raider's Rapture. That is not one I can use. And then last one is Manipulated Fate. I play this immediately after a friendly fighter is picked as the target of an attack. So can't use that yet. And so I will finally score a point in Rage Rock Strike. I scored this immediately after resolving the Emberstone Ploy ability. So score a point. You're then going to play switch things up. You can pick 2 treasure tokens and swap their positions. And so the objectives that were swapped were 5 and 2 there. So we'll go over to the next action, the second action for the Saurus from the Jaws of Itzl. Sorry, one last thing before it is Stephen's turn. I will get to roll for the Knives of the Crone's Prophecy, the Visions in Blood. That is 2 cross swords.
Or 2.
And both. Get both Grievous and a better save roll. And so now into the second activation for the Jaws of Itzl. Krojax is going to make an attack into Kerna Vix. So let's see what you can do.
I need hammers.
Need hammers. You
Got a
get
crit.
1. So I get 2 defense. I do get a success with the dodge. I'm going to re-roll the shield because I can re-roll 1 dice. I get the crit. Completely stop everything you do. And so you move the Venomites over there in combat with Krita. I'm then going to go with another charge.
Right.
Before that, though, you are going to score Sally 4th. You can score immediately after opponent's action step, a friendly fighter with any charge tokens. Holds an objective. Now we will get my go. Going to make a charge super action. So we're going to be needing cross swords for my attack from Asfael in combat. However, you are also going to get nothing. I'm going to get supports though. Oh, that's defense die. Probably should roll the right dice there. That is a crit, so 1 success. It's a crit on yours as well. So failed, but you do not get to punch me back with that. And so third activation for the Jaws of Itzl. Krojax is going into Kerna Vix. So nothing. So I don't need to worry about my defense roll. So now my 4th action, because all my fighters have charged, I can now do a combat action. So yeah, because I've got all the attacks, all the charge tokens and everyone, I'm only able to do the basic non-super action. So I'm going to go and attack with Krita into Sokar. 4 dice, I'll get supports, but you'll be getting supports here as well. That is 3 successes.
And that's
And Sokar gets 1.
wrong dice.
Wrong dice. Do you know what I mean there? No.
Nope.
And so that'll be 2 points of damage and take Sokar down. And because I did the successful attack, I will get to raid. So first one is nothing. Second one is Brightstone Vigor. I'm going to put this on Kernavix, which means that will give me my second successful Emberstone raid. And so I'll get Reckless Gambit as well. And lastly for the round, Krojax is going to see whether he can take out Kernavix.
A hammer and a crit.
And should have rolled this before. Neither of them are the defensive buff, so it wouldn't have changed anything in this attack. So 2 dice. No. Because she needs dodges and she goes down. And then end of the round, you're going to score a whole treasure token 1 or 2. Which you do with Rotak. And so with that, it is a fairly convincing victory to the Jaws of Itzl. Thank you all for watching. We hope this battle report was enjoyable for you, and if you did enjoy it, please go check out some of our others in the playlist on the channel. If you have any questions, please drop a comment down below, and while you're there, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join our Discord server to check out all of our future wargaming content. Thank you all.